Good evening, everyone. This is Mr. Taylor with the Young Engineers of Today. I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. Let's get started. Hello, Catherine. All right. If you can hear me, please raise your hand. All right. Good. Alex, Drew, George, Mark, Catherine, Marissa, Maya. Waiting on Wade, John, and Keller. That's majority of the class. If you can hear me, please raise your hand. Alex, George, Jean Marc, Catherine Keller, Marissa, Maya. Okay, that's the majority of people. Very good. All right. Does anyone have any questions? Put your hands down. Please raise your hand if you have any questions before we begin. As I have random alarms going off on my phone to remind me about the webinar. All right. We have Catherine. All right. Let me call on you. Go ahead, Catherine.
Um, so my 3D print thing, you didn't give it to me last lab and I couldn't find you.
Oh, I completely forgot. I'm sorry, Catherine. Um, are you going to be coming to the
The optional lab?
bonus lab?
Yes, I'm pretty sure, yes.
Okay, well I'll have it there for you. All right.
Okay. I
Okay.
just
Thank you
wanted
for
to make
reminding.
sure that you didn't have it and I didn't get to you or something.
No, I did. I just forgot to give it to you. I apologize.
Okay,
Thank
thanks.
you. All right. Okay, everyone. What we're going to be doing today is looking at rockets. So far, you've fifth and sixth grade has done a lab on rockets. We built two types of rockets, and what we're going to be doing now is looking at Kerbal. Now, we're not going to go that deep in the Kerbal. You're going to learn some of the basics, hopefully, be able to get a rocket into outer space, but that is about it, and how to use it. Because this is a build up for those who are in seventh and eighth grade, you dig really deep into using Kerbal. With young engineers today. So this is more of a setup, and some of you have siblings that are in the older class, and um, and you probably see them doing a lot of different things with that. Okay, so all right. So first off, what we're going to be doing is learning about rockets and some of the science behind rockets, and then we are going to go over some of the basics of Kerbal, and we'll continue that on Wednesday. All right. Okay. Now, some general history of rockets. Rockets are much older technology than airplanes. Nobody knows exactly when rockets were first developed. China created the first verifiable rocket in the 1200s using the uh, using gunpowder, pretty much. They realized firework explosion could be aimed towards enemies, so we started getting rockets in that format. Now, after Newton developed his three laws in the 1700s, rockets became a source of weapons for war. As you can see, we like turning things into weapons, as history shows us. Fins were used for stabilization, uh, to help with keeping the rocket on a projectile course. However, technology prevented rockets from being a viable weapon during these times, so it was kind of a hit or miss operation. Now, some modern history of rockets. In the 1900s, liquid rocket propellant was discovered to be a more efficient fuel source than solid propellant. So, going from gunpowder to a type of liquid based fuel. Uh, we found out this would make our rockets go even higher than before and capable of reaching Earth's orbit, which you can do in Kerbal. During World War II, rockets were again rescheduled. Research as a weapon, and continental ballistic missiles were developed, not just too late to be used in the war. We're talking about World War II, that is. During the Soviet Union launched a rocket to go into Earth's orbit. Soon after, they launched the first orbiting satellite, Sputnik, and then first surviving creature, a dog named, I cannot pronounce that word, but it looks like a pretty cool looking dog. Which then basically we got the space race from this, which ended up leading to us putting a man on the moon, etc., etc. A little history lesson there for you. Now, Sir clicks a lot, strikes again. All right, now we're going to look at some of the reasons why rockets fly, okay? Good point. Lika, thank you, Marissa. Now, Newton's first law. As we know, an object at rest tends to stay at rest, and objects in motion tend to stay in motion unless an external force is applied to it. Otherwise, short name is the law of inertia. I think we went over Newton's laws first semester. Think of a rocket sitting on a launch pad. Will it launch without its engines being throttled up? Of course not. Though it may not seem this way, the engines are an external force which allows for vertical movement using what we learned during Fly to Learn last semester called thrust. We will not be using Fly to Learn. George asked that question. And why is it so difficult to get into space? Let's continue. Now, because there are other external forces are pushing against the rocket, many forces like air resistance are preventing the rocket from escaping the Earth's atmosphere. Rocket engines must produce an amount of thrust which is greater than the forces pushing against it. You need to overcome these forces and have a greater force. It takes a lot of thrust to overcome such forces, which is why rockets must be so powerful. Now, Newton's second law is mass times acceleration, which equals force. For example, weight is a force. We all know that mass times gravity is weight. Rocket has mass, and Earth's gravity provides an acceleration towards the center of the Earth. These forces act through a rocket's center of mass, the point at which the mass is distributed evenly throughout the rocket. To display forces, scientists use pictures called free body diagrams. An object at rest, like the rocket on the launch pad, pictured in the free body diagram, has only two forces acting on the center of mass, weight and normal force. The concept of normal force is yet another one of Newton's laws of motion, which leads us to our third law. Uh-oh. Sir clicks a lot. Strikes again. Okay. Now, and as we know, Newton's third law, for every action, there is an equal opposite reaction. Okay? To understand this law, push your hand against the tabletop. Your hand is exerting a force upon the table, but the table is also exerting a force upon your hand. This force is a normal force, and is the reason your hand doesn't simply pass through the table. This is also why we don't fall to the earth towards the next closest center of gravity, which is our sun. All right. Now, check the message boards. All right. Thanks for all the feedback. Different ways we could have stated things. Now, we're going to be, now that you know some basic behind rocket science and orbit mechanics, we're going to open up Kerbal Space Program. Basically, I'm going to show you how to download it, and then we're going to use start game, start new, and then we're going to use the sandbox, which is the free version, and then hit start. To those who were at our lab on Thursday in Charlotte, we already started doing some experimenting with it. So let me switch over to another presentation, which will help us download Kerbal. Now, Kerbal Space Program basically is a game where the players create and manage their own space program. You get to build spacecraft, fly them. You can even orbit the planet. You can get on the moon, land on the moon eventually is another mission. And you can actually learn a lot about rocket science in using this program. Okay. Now, I'm going to send you this link, and we're going to download the demo version. Go over and send this out to everyone. All right. And what you are going to do is download whatever necessary file. If you have a Windows machine, download the Windows. If you have an Apple machine, download that. And they even have Linux-based operating systems, such which our Raspberry Pi runs off. It's a Linux-based operating system. So go ahead, download this, and run it, and open it up. And once you've done so, glad a lot of people are excited about this. Seth, great job. All right, so once you've done this, please raise your hand. Yes, Marissa.
I'm not done. I was wondering, where does it say download?
You click on the demo. That is the download link. Do you understand, Marissa?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
the icon itself is the download. Okay?
Okay.
All right, awesome. Thank you. Yes, John. John, go ahead.
What's that penguin?
That is the icon for Linux.
Okay.
Okay? Linux is what your Raspberry Pi runs off of.
Oh, okay.
Okay? All right. Thanks, John. Okay, great job, Seth. Thank you, Anna. Okay, great, John Mark. If you need any help, type in. Anna has a question. Yes, Anna?
Um, I have a new computer. It's a PC, and it's Windows, but I don't know how to copy the name to and get it on the web browser.
Okay, highlight it
Okay.
and then hit Control C after it's highlighted.
Which one? It's abbreviated, I think. Which one's Control C?
It'll be CTRL.
Okay.
Now go to your web browser.
Okay.
And in the web browser address bar, you will hit Control B.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you. I'm still getting used to it.
No problem. Sounds great. Yes, Marissa?
An easier way of doing what you just explained is you just right click. Like you highlight it, you right click, you click copy, then you go to your web browser, and then you click right click where you'd be typing it in. You right click there, and then you hit paste or paste and go. That's a little easier.
Yeah, it all depends. Actually, I end up using the control buttons a lot more than I actually do right clicks.
Really?
Yeah, I found that I type quicker when I do my hands off the mouse. I can get stuff done quicker. Because then
Yeah.
I'm just using the mouse to navigate. I think it all depends on who you are.
Yeah.
So I used to use that, and then I started using the control, command buttons, etc. If you're on a Mac or a PC, and I found those to be quicker for me.
Yeah.
But thank you for adding that. That is another way. All right. Thank you. Okay, we have Anna done. Thank you for raising your hand to show that you are done. We got John's finished. Alex is finished. All right. John Mark. Yes, Anna?
When I press the demo for Windows, it gives me at the bottom of my page, do you want to save KSP demo, so forth?
Yes.
And then it has open, save, or cancel. Under save, it has save, save as, save and open.
Go with save and open.
Okay, then it pops out, how do you want to open this type of file?
You want to run it?
I'll press more options. It says, look for an app in the App Store, Internet Explorer noted, Office, XML handler.
No, you don't want other options. You're trying to have something read it. It's its own program.
Use this app for all torrent files.
I'm not 100% on what's going on. Just being honest with you, Anna.
Well, it might have been like a security thing that my dad installed.
Yeah. Is your dad nearby?
No. He's He's in Raleigh currently.
Okay, because all you pretty much want to do is download it and run it. And if you want, try to go into the download folder and run it from there.
Okay.
All right. So go ahead and try that and see how that works.
I'm not sure if it'll let me go without it, but should I just use this app for all torrent files?
Sure. Not 100% on that.
Okay. Let's see.
Noah, you want to have the demo because the full version you have to pay for. Mine is okay. Thank you, Anna. Marissa, if I'm working with someone, you can keep typing, but you got to wait till I'm finished.
Well, yeah. I just thought it would be nice to say please.
Okay, thank you. How can I help you?
Uh, I was just wondering, like, I have it downloaded, but I don't know how I can access it.
What type of computer are you on?
PC.
PC? It's going to be in your download folder. So you're going to have to go to your download folder and run it.
Like, I've gone there and I don't like know what to click to run on or to run it.
Right click on it. See if it has run, or double click on it.
It brings me to this page called, or like, that says KSP, like, dash thing win.
I'm not 100% what is this a link or an internet browser?
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
But I'm not sure what you're explaining.
I double clicked on the thing in the documents folder and it brought me to a page called, and it had one option on it and it said like KSP win. So I double clicked on that and it brought me to this, to another page that had like 9 options on it. And so I just clicked on the one that said KSP, nothing else. It just said KSP. And I double clicked on that and it's a compressed zipped folder.
So unzip it.
How do I do that? Do I hit run? Do I hit extract all? Or
Hit extract all.
it's copying something.
Yeah, because that's unzip. Have you ever unzipped a file before?
I don't know. Like I might have, but I haven't done it and I'll.
Right. You're unzipping the file at this point, and then it'll unzip it into a folder, and from there you can run it from that folder.
Okay.
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 All right. Thank you. Yes, Catherine.
Okay, so I was able to download it, but I exited out because the music was kind of annoying. But something pops up about an ISP code or something. Should I allow it or not?
KSP?
No, it starts with an I.
What all does it say?
Going to have to open it again. It's just like, do you want the code or something?
Did you downloaded the demo, correct?
Yeah. I'm sure I downloaded the demo because after I quitted it, it said buy it, but I didn't click on that. I just pressed
Okay. Yeah. Then hit yes unless but if it tells you it asks you to buy something, then decline it.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Catherine.
Okay.
All right. Just to help everyone out a little bit. Click on your demo, and this will, which I think most of you are doing, it even gives a recommendation for computers and processors, okay? We only want the demo. We don't want to buy it. I know some people have siblings where they've purchased it. You can just do more, but all we're doing right now is using the demo, okay? Thank you. It's all right, Keller, go ahead. All right. George, not quite sure what you're asking. Yes, George?
Well, I was going to say, so did the download take a really long time,
Okay.
or should it like immediate?
I don't know what you're on. Are you on a Mac or a PC?
Mac.
Okay, what operating system is yours?
Well, I have Firefox and
No,
Safari, but I downloaded.
Okay, that's your Internet Explorer. I mean, that's your internet browsers. What is your operating system?
My operating system.
Yeah, like how current is it?
And
Now, because
by
the main reason I say this, depending on what your operating system is, how much gigs of RAM you have, what type of video card, etc.
Well,
whatever.
right now it's just taking a really long time to load, but it's about 3/4 of the way through, and
Okay, that's
it's
fine.
been loading for a long time, but it's almost done. I have it downloaded, it's just downloading.
Okay, that's fine. I mean,
I have-
like it's hard to say because it depends on what all your computer specs are.
Well, it's just that the download was just crawling along, and I'm wondering if I did something wrong with it, like
Did you click on the demo?
if I clicked on the Mac button of the demo. I didn't click on the Linux.
You clicked
or
on the
Windows.
KSP demo for Mac, right?
Yes.
Okay, then just let's show some patience, and I think it'll be okay.
Be patient
All right.
because it's almost done.
Okay.
I was just gonna say I wasn't gonna be done downloading for a while. I'm still unmuted.
Okay. I just thought you were still explaining. All right. Thank you. All right. Does anyone need? Okay, that's fine, Catherine. If you're using it for stats purposes, you don't need it. All right. We call on Anna. And we'll call on Catherine. Now, if you're already logged in, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and start experimenting with Kerbal. All right, when you get this window, go to Start Game, Start New, and then what you're going to end up doing is use the sandbox, okay? So go ahead and do some experimenting, and then I will help some people get caught up. All right, Anna, yes.
Okay, I've switched. I'm still on the same one for the webinar bit, but I've switched laptops for downloading it. And what it says, there's no application to set to open the document,
You
which is
have to
search.
unzip the file.
How do I do that?
You have to go in your download folder and then right click on, and it'll say open all or unzip all or something on that lines.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
You're
I'm
welcome.
sorry for the sneeze. I have really bad seasonal allergies.
I hear you. I've been the same way, popping allergy medicine for the past week. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Hope you feel better. All right. Done, completed, awesome is George. All right. Calling Catherine. Yes, Catherine.
Oh, I just left my. Oh, I didn't have any questions.
Say that again.
I do not have any questions.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. You had the call on me at 5:31. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. I was just reading the types. All right. Does anyone need any help or need more time? Okay. Go ahead, George. Type in if you are experimenting. Just type EXP or me. That works. Okay, good. We got Catherine, Sean, Mark, Eric, Maya, Marissa. Thank you, Marissa, for literally taking me to the point of EXP or me. Thanks, Marissa. Okay, George, I'll call on you. All right, I'm going to put hands down since. Just put your hand up if you need help. I'm putting hands down. If you need help, put up your hand. Call on George. George. So I know you typed in as well. Go ahead, George.
I finished downloading the Kerbal, but I cannot find it. When I tried to open it from my downloads, it said this does not exist, and I pressed OK, and now I can't find it. Oh, now that's the folder.
Okay.
So then would I like drag the folder out?
You could do that, or you can just run it from your downloads. It's up to you.
There, I've opened up it. Would I go down to in it? There's a just KSP. Should I open up that?
Yeah, open up the.
And then there's a bunch of like parts, sips, sounds, saves. I should open
Is
up
the
this
whole?
one.
Did you unzip the file or uncompress it?
Well, I downloaded it and then I opened up a folder because it was downloaded in a folder,
Okay.
like Why to Learn.
Yeah.
And then when I open up the one with the little picture of the
Yeah.
astronaut.
Then yeah, I would run the icon.
So I just double clicked on that. It says KSP can't be opened because it's from an unidentified developer.
That's the same issue. Remember we had to deal with because it's not Apple approved software. You're gonna have to do the right click process that we did for Game Maker.
Right click opened.
Yeah.
Okay, it's. Oh, now it says is from an unidentified developer. Are you sure you want to open it?
Yes.
I'm going to press open.
Yeah. Apple has this extra security measure because technically.
And also, my mom had recently done a bunch of extra like security stuff on the computer.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, Apple's not real keen on using things that are not been approved by the Apple Store. They want everything to run through there. So if you download things that have not been directly approved but will still run on a Mac, It always, you have to do that little back door.
But
Okay.
the little symbol is just bouncing up and down on the bottom of my screen, and nothing's happening except it bouncing up and down. Okay, it stopped bouncing.
All right.
And it still just says Finder. So should I just wait a couple seconds for it to open?
Yeah.
Now it is opened.
Yeah. I just think your computer's just running slow. All right.
And now it came up with a picture that says Squad, which is that just like how before you open Minecraft it says Mojang. And now it's loading.
Okay. It's running. Things are just running slow on your computer. Okay.
Got it.
All right. Okay. Thank you. All right. Let me see here. Okay. And I'll call on you. We got Marissa, Maya, Eric. Okay. Most people are experimenting, which is quality. Let me call on Anna. Yes, Anna.
I tried that and it's still not working. I'm just gonna download it again and it's waiting to be downloaded. My internet's going slow.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Thank you. Keep me posted. Eric, you have any questions?
Yeah, I'm having some trouble with the multi-stage rockets. I can't get like a second stage to come out. How would you do that?
You need to use the with the boosters. You want to pile them on top of each other. But right now you're just experimenting, so it's really kind of just you're figuring things out on your own a little bit. It's one of those type of deals.
Okay.
Okay, but try putting that on top of it within it. Thank you. Marissa. Marissa.
Oh, sorry, hang on.
What if I
I
don't?
was experimenting.
Okay,
No, never mind. I solved my own question.
Okay, very good. All right, the Jean-Marc. Jean-Marc.
I put a bunch of different fuel tanks on, trying to get them to work, but for some reason my rocket won't fly. I put like an engine.
Okay, when you take it to the launch pad, you have to do it. Hit the shift button. Hold the shift button and the key space bar.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but this is your time to experiment. So it's kind of like you're just learning and making mistakes, and that's all okay. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Making mistakes is perfectly fine. That's the reason we have time to experiment. Catherine.
Yeah, okay, so I have just set my moon as my target, but I don't know how to get back to my launch pad.
What do you mean get back to your launch pad?
Because I went into like a space view
Oh,
to see the moon.
it's one of the buttons near you. It's like IOP or JKL or the semicolon or brackets. It's one of those buttons that'll change your view back.
Where?
UIOP bracket or JKL colon. One of those buttons.
So you want me to type that?
I want you to hit one of those.
Oh, I'm back.
Okay. Which one was it?
I just clicked the rocket ship.
Oh, there, even easier. I was trying to do a shortcut. Yeah, because I did it on Thursday and I just couldn't remember which button it was. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Catherine. John, how's it going?
M also works to get out of the space view.
M. Okay. Thank you, John. Appreciate the support, collaboration. I'm going to put hands down. Anyone needs something immediately? Okay. Noah.
I had a question. I already have the full version. I bought it like a long time ago.
Then
Does it have to be the demo?
No, no, no. I recommended the demo so you wouldn't have to buy. Not many people in here already had it, so just go ahead and use yours.
Okay.
You own it. Don't use the demo.
Yeah, I
I mean, if you want to be restricted and not do as much, but and waste, you can just waste your money. You don't need to use this one you bought.
okay.
I'm joking. That was sarcasm. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Noah. And yes, Eric.
Yeah, I can't figure out how to make the ship when I'm developing it. I can't figure out how to make it rotate so I could look at both sides of it. I'm having some problems with that.
Try using the arrow keys.
Yeah, that works.
Thank you,
Nice.
Eric. Keep experimenting. You're doing well. Keep it up. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. We always learn from our mistakes. Yes, Anna.
Um, I think I might have it, though I'm not sure. The two other, since I accidentally clicked it again twice, have KSP demo OSK zip torrent.
Zip. You want to unzip it. You want to unzip it.
But this one it doesn't have any torrent on it. It just has the zip.
All right, that's fine. Unzip the zip.
It's still loading. It says 3 minutes remaining.
Okay, you're fine. You're right on track. Don't stress.
You left me unmuted.
Okay, thank you. All right, so Anna and George. All right. All right, everyone. If I can get your attention to the screen, let's bring it back in. And George and Anna, while yours is just loading and whatnot, please just watch. We can go over a few basic concepts. All right. Now, we will use a start new. Now, we're going to go over some basics of Kerbal, and we'll be switching between this presentation and the one we started with. Now, the Kerbal Space Center. You have the tracking station. It's the progress of your missions. You have the VAB, which is the vertical assembly building. This is where you build your rockets. And then you use the launch pad, which launches your rockets, and then the space plane hangar for this builds planes. Call on Anna. Yes, Anna.
It did it, and it even said that it was decompressing the zip. But then it says it cannot be opened because it is from an unidentified developer.
Are you on a Mac or a PC?
Mac.
All right, you have to do what we did for Game Maker, where you have to like right click it and then hit force it to open and open it anyways.
Okay, hold on. Oh, and before you go, I wanted to tell you that remember my game wasn't working and I needed to redo it all?
Yes.
I got it to work.
Awesome. Very proud of
The
you.
only thing I forgot was to add a speed to my bombs.
Okay, good. Good. So you can go and do that. Nice job, Anna. Way to persevere. Great job. Okay, thank you, Anna. Yes, sir.
About the unidentified developer thing, my dad called Apple, and in settings, there's a way to get rid of that.
Yes, your dad is 100% correct. It's a pre-made setting. I'm not an Apple guru by far. I barely know how to spell my name sometimes. So you could probably look that up on how to do that, but that's a great point. Thank you for sharing that, Eric. Anything else you'd like to add, Eric?
No.
Okay, thank you. All right, let me get back over to the presentation. All right, now, there's a great tutorial website that explains so much that I'm going to show that to you. Pull that up, and I will send this out to everyone. Now, this tutorial website has so much on it that any questions that you would have, and I'll also post this in Edmodo. So it's a great resource. So now you guys can automatically see it in Edmodo. But it goes through and it tells you everything from the basics to support and help, and what it's about, and different forces, and etc., and even how to use it. And it gives a lot of basics as well. So great little resource there to help you out. Now, what I would want us to do for like the next 6 minutes, we're going to watch just an intro video into how to use it. What I'm going to do is send it to you, because sometimes videos lag. So if you notice that it's lagging, you can just mute me, and you're going to watch till about the 7-minute mark, okay? It's a 31-minute video, but it's really helpful and it helps people get started. And we're going to take that from there.
Hello and welcome to Kerbal Space Program 101. Now this video is intended for new players to the game and not to the veterans. As such, if you're a regular viewer of me, you might find this a little boring. But let's forge on nonetheless, because I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that want to know how to play this hilariously entertaining and RPK space flight game. So as you start up, you are shown the Space Center. This is where you perform all your operations. You have the space plane hangar and the vehicle assembly building where you build flying machines. Now, in the real world, I'm sure you know that planes were built generally before rockets. And so you might naively presume that planes are easier to build than rockets. And that would be completely wrong. And that way will lead to you crashing lots. Instead, I utterly... I could say with no stronger recommendation, you must build rockets first. And so if you click on the vehicle assembly building, you start out with a selection of capsules in the top left-hand corner. Now, on the left side, you have all your parts. Along the top, you have a bunch of buttons, which we will get to later. And down here, you're going to have your staging. So before you can build anything, you must pick one of these command pods. This is the one I would recommend. It is a regular space capsule. It is designed for one pilot, and it has positions to attach rocket motors and parachutes. So we click on it, and it's in the middle of the command building, the vehicle assembly building. So you can click on this with a left mouse button and drag it around. You can use the mouse wheel to move up and down in the vehicle assembly building, and of course if you drag that up and down, it will move. Holding the right button down and dragging will adjust your angle of view. And most importantly, on the left side you can see a whole bunch of items to add. And we're going to build possibly the simplest rocket you can. Along here you have All the items that you can add are split into tabs. There are 7 tabs. And probably the first one you want to go to is the 6th one, which is the Utilities tab. And at the bottom of the first page, you have the Mark 16 parachute. You can pick that up with the left button, drag it across, and once it's there, it will turn green and snap onto the front of your rocket. Now, this isn't a rocket yet because we haven't had an engine, but once we are coming back down, we want that parachute so that we can keep our pilot alive. Now, the next thing we probably want is a decoupler. A decoupler is what is used to interface 2 objects together and detach them at some later point. Now, so if we click on the Structural tab at the very top and we look down, there is a large decoupler for very large rockets. That would look very silly. Instead, find the TR18A stack decoupler. This is the right size for our rocket. Now you see when I added that, it appeared on the side here. This is the staging display, and this is what will happen when I hit the spacebar. If I hit the spacebar, this will decouple, and then the parachute will fire the next time. This will happen in flight, of course. So now we're going to add an actual engine. The easiest way to add an engine to this is to use a solid rocket booster. So if we go to the Propulsion tab, which is the second one, you use the page controls on the bottom here. We go to page 2, and we have the RT-10 solid rocket booster. There is the larger one you can try, but this is just about the simplest rocket you can build in the game. So let us go up to the top right corner. We have the green button to launch, and that's us ready to go. As we launch, we're ready. This is the flight display screen. So what we're seeing here, the most important things to see is at the top left, you have the mission elapsed time. In the middle, you have an instrument panel, which includes a very nice abort button. It has an altitude, atmospheric pressure, your vertical speed. You have buttons here to turn on light, landing gear, and brakes. Resources show you how much power and fuel you have on your spacecraft. As your spacecraft uses up fuel, you can see these getting depleted here. In the bottom on the middle, you have your artificial horizon. Now, right now, you're pointing straight up. That's why everything is blue. If it turns all orange and you are firing thrusters, you are heading straight down into the ground. So be wary of this. On the left side is the throttle. This needle here shows you how much throttle you're generating. And on the right side here is your G-force meter. This here is your velocity, which can be switched between orbital and surface velocity. You'll notice that if I switch to orbit velocity, you actually have 174.6 meters per second. And that is because the planet Kerbin actually rotates on its axis. So even when you're sitting still, you're actually in an orbit in big, finger quotes, which will fall into the middle of the planet. So in the bottom left corner, you have your staging display and your pitch adjust. Basically, these are your control inputs. As I hit space, these will fire, and you can adjust these. But when I hit space first, that means my solid rocket booster will fire. There we go. So it is now flying upwards. And in theory, I can control this thing by using the W, A, S, and D keys, as well as a Q and E. Now, Q and E will roll, as you see. I can press A and D to pitch in those directions. Now, the directions are on the nav ball is what matters. So if I now switch this around, I'm pitching in the opposite direction. And then I can pitch north and south using W and S. Now, after a short amount of time, all the fuel in the solid rocket motor has burned out. There's no way to refuel these things. They fire once at 100% throttle, and then once they've burned out, you drop them. And so how do I drop them? I drop them by hitting the spacebar to activate the next stage. And there we go. So the capsule is now flying through the air in a ballistic path. You can see at the top, the vertical velocity meter is still going up. And as we reach the apex, it starts to go over, and now we are starting to fall downwards towards the surface. And as we fall downwards, we're going to pick up speed, and it's going to take a little while to get there. Before we land, we probably want to deploy the parachute. And the way we deploy the parachute is by hitting the spacebar. So, spacebar hits and the parachute deploys. Now, it only partially deploys. You see it's in this partially deployed state. It's slowing us down a little, but not a huge amount. Once we get to 500 meters, it will deploy fully. You see yellow here to show partially deployed. So if we're wanting to go down to the surface fast, we can use the time acceleration mode. And the time acceleration mode is accessed using the dot or the full stop and the comma keys. So if I hit these buttons, you see up in the top left the time acceleration happening. And if I hit the comma key, it slows down. So now I'm coming down a little closer to the surface. That object there is the spent booster. You can see that it has fallen ahead of us a little. It will hit the ground before I do. I'm just going to time accelerate through this. I want to be very careful that I do not time accelerate too fast when I hit 500 meters, because that's when the parachute opens. And it's not unknown for the parachute to rip off when you're using it in time accelerated mode. And so we're coming down, and I'm just going to watch for the shadow and come out of time acceleration again, because it's not unknown for bad things to happen in time acceleration. You notice the parachute is now green in the bottom left. And there we are. We have completed our mission. And so we can now...
All right. We're going to stop there. Now, go back to this. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we'll continue with Kerbal next class. We went through the vehicle assembly building in the video, located in the center of the screen. Upper left-hand corner is a review of the game. Select Command Pod MK1, circled in red. This is the payload of the rocket, which includes the space of the Kerbal pilot and scientific tools. All right. As we went over for their payload, next in the upper left corner, select the tab labeled Utility from the list. This will give you an MK16 parachute, which we went over, as well as the parachute will follow your mouse and place it on the top of the command pod, so it sticks into the place. In the bottom right-hand corner, you will notice orange markers labeled 0 and 1. These are the stages in your rocket so far, and you will need to know this during launch, because these are the steps at which you will use. Okay. Now, we are going to stop there for now. It is 6 o'clock. Does anyone have any questions? We will continue with Kerbal next class. And just remember, your siblings or you know anyone that's using it, we're not going to be going as deep. Our objective is to like get into space. So we'll be working on some things. If I know some of you have already used this or want to dig deeper, go ahead. But I'm just letting you know we're not going to go into orbiting or trying to land on the moon, because you do that in 7th and 8th grade course. Okay. Well, thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful evening. And remember, our largest mistakes, or our mistakes in general, can be some of our greatest discoveries. Enjoy. Have a wonderful night. Does anyone have any questions? Yes, Marissa.
Hang on. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So, do we have to do anything?
Nope. There's nothing
Okay.
outside. If you want to experiment more, you want to try to build different rockets, go for it. But homework
Okay.
wise,
And also.
okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
And also, how many more webinars are there after?
We have Wednesday, and then we have Monday, which technically was supposed to be the last day. Yes or no? I think Monday was supposed to, but then we had the makeup another day as makeup. So I believe we have 3 left, but I will double check on that for Wednesday.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. And George?
I was going to ask how do you lift off, but I just figured that out on my own, and I'm currently parachuting around.
Thank you, George. And Anna, go ahead. Anna, your hand's raised.
Oh, sorry. I got it.
Okay, great. Very happy. Nice job. Way to keep persevering.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. As always, thank you very much, and have a good